Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ, and welcome back to another episode of Chips Ahoy, where we talk about One Penis, the greatest series filled with big black cock, not to be confused with pornography, but yeah, you know, in the last couple chapters, we've been absolutely surrounded by giant cock-wielding individuals. You know, the biggest and the blackest. But who knows what's going to happen this chapter? I, once again, have not been spoiled to it. The only thing I know about it is that, apparently, it's political. Oh, my God. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what that means. Hello, Sour. Hello, Molotov. Good to see you, lads, back in the chat. Sour says, I love politics piece. I know, you idiot. You're the one who fucking spoiled me to this chapter being political live on Twitter, you motherfucker. So, I mean, we'll get into it. We'll get into politics piece. I don't really know how it relates to this chapter. I just know that it does in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, we'll talk about it, man. Let's get political. Let's get controversial. Maybe we'll get me some more viewers. No, I don't know about that. But who knows, man? Molotov asks, cock or cock? I mean, why not? Okay, now I'm not going to say that. I'll leave that one up to more braver folks than I. But I will say, look, man. I don't know. I don't have a joke. I do not have a response to cock or cock. I'm sorry. If I think of one, I'll let you know. Anyway, Sar says, hey, I put plenty of space in that tweet for people to avoid the spoilers. Did you now? Well, put more space next time. No, it's fine. That's literally the only thing I saw was like your meme about or your tweet about, like, you know, One Piece being political or whatever that means. So, like, honestly, I do want to pull up your tweet, and I do want to talk about it. Molotov Bartender says, Color of the Conqueror, King. Ah, so that's what you meant. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought you were just talking about giant penises, so thank you for clarifying that for me. I wouldn't have known otherwise. I took up the character limit. Alright, Sour. Whatever you say, bro. Spoiling us to what's going to happen in the chapter. Honestly, so based on the title of this chapter, that's the only thing I've seen so far is the title. And we got Let's Go, and the chapter is called Chapter 1082 of One Piece. Let's go and claim it. So, we've heard someone say that before. A certain red-haired lad that we all know and do not love. A lot of people know him and love him. I know him and I loathe him. Like, I don't hate Shanks, but I'm not a fan of Shanks either. I'm not a Shanks fanboy. I could take him or leave him. I want him to get got by somebody, probably Blackbeard, before things end. Molotov is mad because I hate Shanks. I'm sorry, bro. Or because I didn't know what he meant when he said cock. I'm not sure. Be kind to Uta's father. I will never be kind to Uta's father because he abandoned her. He does not deserve my kindness of my my sweet, sweet girl. Or me. Okay. But anyway, so Shanks said to Ben Beckman at the end of Wano when he was doing his when he was on his his Film Red press tour back at the end of Wano, doing his Film Red press junket all over town, all over the Grand Line, trying to sell those tickets, baby. He essentially he said to Beckman something along the lines of like, "Hey Beck, it's time that we claimed it." And he looked all edgy, and he had a fucking glass of sake, and he's like, "You think it's time we claim it?" And then Beck just stared at him blankly, because Beck was fucking stoned out of his mind, didn't know where the fuck he was. And my boy Shanks said, "The One Piece," and then he gulped down a big glug of booze. So my guess is that this might be like the cool thing. The cool thing about One Piece right now is that it's really hard to predict what's going to happen next. And like, Egghead's been throwing us some curveballs like pretty much every chapter, but now we're not even like confined to Egghead Island anymore. We're just like jumping around anywhere, and Oda seems like he's just doing like a full-on, this is more in-between arc stuff than we had like maybe ever. Like Reverie, I guess, counts as like an in-between arc, which I guess was like a few chapters, like what, like 6 or 7. So I guess that's still more, but honestly, altogether, Egghead might have as many in-between arc chapters as Reverie and Wano combined. Like, we're getting there. Because we've had a few at this point. We keep cutting away. And it's interesting. Like, it is interesting. It's different from what Oda normally does. Like, he normally sticks to, like, kind of like a more, how do I put it, like a clearer, I guess, trajectory when it comes to a lot of his arcs. And, like, usually focuses on the Straw Hats, occasionally jumps away. But right now, we're all over the place. And it makes this arc really weird to, like, compare to other arcs. And I like that. I like that, like, Egghead as an arc feels like it's kind of like building up all of these conflicts in the background and like, you know, kind of showing what the other like competitors for the One Piece and like to rule the world, like people on the world stage are like actually doing in real time. That's pretty cool. But at the same time, I don't know, like, I kind of am ready. Like, we had so many characters involved with the conflict in Wano that I, like, kind of am ready just to spend some time with the Straw Hats, you know? And I was, like, kind of, like, looking forward to that. And we've got a little bit of it in Egghead, which is good, you know, all good stuff. But, like, I will say, like, as much as I love, like, the cutting away that happens in One Piece, we're getting to the point where, like, I think I'm getting, like, a little bit of, like, cutaway fatigue. Like, don't get me wrong, I love everything that's happened, pretty much. Like, everything that's happened in the last few arcs, or last few chapters or whatever, that, like, regarding, like, Shanks and Kid and, you know, Blackbeard and, fucking Garp and, you know, now, fucking Law and his crew being all fucked up. Like, everything we're getting is really interesting. And, like, I'm excited to see what we get this chapter, because at this point, like, who the fuck knows? Are we back on Egghead? Are we, like, doing something with, you know, fucking, like, Cross Guild? I don't know. I think I did see something about this, like, some people were posting some Buggy memes, so I kind of have a feeling this chapter might be, like, Cross Guild related, or we might get some, like, Cross Guild content, which, frankly, I'm all about it. Like, you know, I have an endless capacity for Cross Guild shit. You know, put that shit in my veins. I'm fucking tweaking over here for some of that good old Cross Guild, you know, but, and I'm down. But I also, like, I want to see where the Egghead Island stuff is going. Like, I'm interested in it. Like, there's so much we have left to learn about and from Vegapunk. Like, you know, I'm kind of ready to see, you know, for that plot to move forward as well. So hopefully we'll get back there at some point. But I'm still down for some funny clown piece shenanigans. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Sour says, there's a reason to loathe Shanks because for so much of the story he's just been a plot device and a cool guy. No, I totally agree. Yeah, no, I don't like Shanks. Because, now he's more interesting now than he's ever been. But for, like, 90% of the story, he's just been, like, a background asshole, you know? Like, he's clearly an important character for, like, Luffy's personal motivation, which is great. And, like, he's, like, awesome in Chapter 1, you know, literally Chapter 1. He's really good there. And, like, it's been fun to see him appear from time to time, but nowadays it's, like, he'll do something that will, like, kind of make things less interesting. Like, as much as I thought it was, like, his encounter with Kid was, like, cool and hype, like, I don't like that Kid's just out of the story now. Like, I get, maybe Oda's just trying to, like, trim the fat a little bit and be like, alright, we gotta focus in on, like, you know, show that these other guys are just not tough enough to hang with, like, the big Yonko that remain. And, like, that's why I kind of think Luffy might get fucked up, or, like, not Luffy, but, like, the Straw Hat crew, I think, might get fucked up a bit in this upcoming Egghead conflict, because we know some big event's coming. Who knows exactly what it is. But, yeah, and last chapter was so interesting, because we got, like, some backstory about, like, Kuzan, who's, in my opinion, like, personally, like, probably one of my favorite characters. Like, even since he's been introduced, he's always been, like, kind of, like, a good-natured guy who is kind of like slowly getting woke to the fact that like the organization he's dedicated his life to work for is like super corrupt and fucked up, and he doesn't agree with it. And like it's interesting to see like the way last chapter framed his flashback was about like kind of how he essentially, like, I still think he's probably undercover in some capacity, and that he's gonna like throw the fight with Garp to let them get away or some shit, like make it look good but not good too good, I guess. I don't know exactly, but I personally I still think he could be a sword guy, but who knows, man. But like what was I gonna say? Like, I like the way they framed it last chapter, because they basically were trying to like sell his position, which is like essentially, you know, and if you look at his arc, it's interesting because he started out as just a guy who like looked up to Garp and was in the Marines as like a vice admiral, and he was pretty tough, but like kind of, you know, sort of believed the cause, but maybe not completely, but he always kind of like, he felt like the Marines were doing enough good to justify like some of the maybe like less ethical stuff they do, I suppose. But then when O'Hara happened, he just like witnessed like wanted like murder of like civilians who had nothing to do with the incident, and like, and you know, that's why he, you know, spared Saul and let Robin leave. So it's interesting to think about that like over the time as he's seen like the shitty things that the Marines have done, and like he's been complicit in a lot of that stuff, but like I think it's interesting if you look at his story from that perspective of him like slowly kind of, you know, getting woke to the whole world government bullshit and whatnot, aka based shit. But yeah, but then him joining Blackbeard, who's obviously also a fucking evil motherfucker, you know, maybe like kind of has like a bit of like a gray morality to him. Like he clearly cares about some things and has like some similar values to Luffy, but he's also like definitely like more cutthroat than Luffy ever has been. So yeah, it's interesting to see that like Blackbeard would join up with them and like seems to be like pretty like gung-ho for the Teach Boys. So it's interesting, it's cool. Who knows if we'll get more of that conflict this chapter? That would be really interesting. Apparently we're getting politics. Maybe we'll see the fucking Revolutionary Boys or a flashback to something about them. Maybe something related to Kuma. Could be cool. I want to get back to that Kuma backstory, yo. I really do. So yeah, we can get into this chapter. Let me just read catch up on some of these comments first, and then we'll get into it. So, Molotov says, wait, so Cyrus says there is, yeah, I already read that one. Molotov says, yo, what's your opinion on Oda's, we went to Wano because we thought Blackbeard would be there cope over the press tour. Wait, so I actually like that, because like that would explain why Shanks was there. Like Shanks has been like trying to stop Blackbeard's rise to power from the start, because clearly Shanks and Blackbeard have a history. Blackbeard like fucking cutting his, you know, eye or whatever happened like probably back when he was on Roger's crew, or like right after he left. Like these guys have had like beef since they were like literal children. They're clearly like rivals in some capacity, and like my guess is that Shanks knows what Blackbeard's goal is, and he knows how awful it will be, and he's trying to stop like Blackbeard kind of specifically. He's been like I predict that he is so his motivations are so intrinsically tied to being a deterrent to Blackbeard, whatever Blackbeard's end goal might be, and you know, however huge or, you know, crazy, or, you know, some Rocksteady Zebek destroy the world type shit, whatever it is, Shanks learned it at a young age and has been trying like hell to, like basically rose to power to stop Blackbeard specifically. And yeah, like I personally, like we know that like Shanks literally contacted Whitebeard pre-time skip, like set up a Yonko meeting in order to be like, yo, if Ace goes after Teach, shit's gonna hit the fan. Keep your boys away from that boy. He's a bad boy. And even Whitebeard was like, yeah, you're right. He is a bad boy. But like at the time, he wanted to defend Ace's honor or whatever. So he's like, fuck you, get out of here. But like, then Shanks went and talked to like the fucking Gorosei. And what did he talk to? He said, I wanted to discuss a certain pirate. A lot of people thought he was talking about Luffy. I think he's talking about Blackbeard. It's hard to say, because Luffy obviously, now we know that Shanks knew about the Nika Nika no Mi, which is that's some bullshit. But, like a real retcon, you know? But him, I still think he might have been talking about Blackbeard. And he's like, yo, this dude's planning some shit. Y'all need to like, you know, I have beef with the world government, but I actually think you guys are the lesser evil than fucking Blackbeard, you know? I think that could potentially be what Shanks was doing there in the first place. So him actually being near Wano to keep Blackbeard from showing up and like stealing a bunch of shit or taking over, I think actually makes more sense than him just like being there for his fucking Uta movie press junket. But it's a convenient thing of that he was there and Blackbeard wasn't, because Blackbeard, too smart, too high IQ, went to fucking Winter Island and just camped out. Boy was camping until my boy Law showed up. So that's what I think about that. Sour says it's simultaneous storytelling instead of focused linear storytelling. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I agree. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. It's simultaneous storytelling. Oh, yeah. What I was talking about with, like, Oda jumping around. Yeah, it's interesting, and a lot of other mangaka do this more often than Oda does, but Oda's been going hard with it in Egghead, like, really hard. And, like, I liked it at first. I still like it. But the thing that makes the in-between arc stuff so good is that, like, we kind of don't get it all that often. And when we do, it's like fucking catnip. We're like, oh my fucking god. We're like feral, We're like, oh shit. Like, we just learned something about, like, a big player that, like, and, like, what they're up to and, like, how that affects other characters. And, like, thinking about... The coolest thing about One Piece is, like, there's so many factions and characters and possibilities that you can, like, just thinking about the possibilities of what could happen is, like, so exciting. And, like, when a in-between arc chapter happens, it's like, oh shit, that shit is going to be felt. Like, if Oda thinks this isn't important enough to, like, interrupt sort of the main story, it's going to be, like, some important ass shit that's going to affect everyone, or at least a bunch of people, including the Straw Hats. So, like, part of the fun is, like, being, like, is anticipating what could happen next, or what might happen next, So, but the problem is, if you get too much into the in-between arc shit, if you drop in too many nuggets too regularly, I feel like it's one of the, it's the kind of thing where it's like, if you do something all the time, you're not gonna, like, something nice for yourself all the time, you're not gonna get bored of it, but it's gonna become, like, less special. Like, if you eat chocolate every day, you might still like chocolate, but, like, chocolate's just kind of like, if you save it for, like, specific moments as, like, a reward for yourself or whatever, that is more gratifying. At least a lot of people would say that. Like your mind gets the what's it called? Like the fucking serotonin, stronger if you've kind of, like, held off from eating something or doing something for a while, like, just that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I don't hate it, but I would be okay, and I would welcome us going back to the main Egghead Island story with Vegapunk and the boys. So that's just how I feel. Molotov says, it's Oda post-time skip formula. Every 50 chapters remind you that there's a story he is pretending matters. It does actually matter, so I don't know. Molotov says, Cross Guild is great, but I still can't forgive Oda over doing Buggy dirty like that. I'm not sure what you mean by doing Buggy dirty, but whatever you say, bro. I guess you mean, like, Shanks or not Shanks, I guess that the chapter where we found out what happened with Cross Guild and how they got notoriety, and, like, it being kind of like Buggy was, like, the bitch to the other two. I don't see how else Oda could have handled that, but whatever. Molotov says, I'd agree that Shanks is a non-character, but until Oda ruins him, I can't bring myself to dislike him. That's totally fair. I totally feel you on that. And then Molotov also says, Aokiji being undercover is the less interesting choice, but yeah, it's probably what's going on. I think it's interesting either way. Personally, Aokiji is someone who I've always liked a lot. Like, he's probably been one of, like, my favorite, like, non-Straw Hat characters for, like, a while. And, like, I didn't even realize that until fairly recently, but I'm like, you know what? Like, this guy has interacted with so many different factions, and, like, he has, like, his backstory is literally, like, kind of adjacent to Robin's backstory. He's almost, like, kind of, like, and him, like, kind of having a soft spot for her is, like, really cute and stuff. And, like, I don't know. He's cool as ice. He's got fucking Riz up the wazoo. He's fucking rizzed out. He's, like, kind of, like, super competent, but also, like, merciful and, like, cool. And, like, he's got complicated motivations. He doesn't necessarily agree with the government, but he still works for them. he's not like as gung-ho as a Kainu, but he's still like kind of, you know, does the work that he thinks needs to be done and tries to do it in his own way with his own like moral compass. And like he's just kind of like, I don't know, his powers are really cool. Like he now is like either undercover or just has switched sides, which is fucking sick. Like, you know, and him interacting with the Blackbeard guys and like telling them jokes and like trying to get along with them is really funny. Like, I don't know, he's shown a lot of personality and he's like pretty unique, but he's also like just genuinely like really cool and like a badass. So it's hard for me not to dislike. It's hard for me not to like really like him. Like he's definitely one of my favorite non-Striat characters for sure, and I'm excited to see more of him now. Let's see. All right, I need to get into this chapter, but Sour says Cross-Guild is more based than Buggy has ever been. I like them both. Molotov says, take that back. Fair enough. All right, let's get into the fucking chapter without further ado. Sorry about that, boys. All right. Chapter 1082, let's go and claim it, the One Piece. And we got a really cute cover page with my best friends, Zeus and Prometheus, my two favorite, like, non-Striat characters. Fuck Kuzan, man. These guys are my favorite. Zeus is the best. That little fucking baseball cap is the cutest thing in the world. I love it to death. Big Mom is literally, like, the best character in fiction. Change my fucking mind. Change my mind. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so let's read the thing. We got Chopper is eating cotton candy, but he's also eating Zeus. That's really cute. Eating the cloud, which looks like cotton candy. Prometheus is laughing at his little brother. Hilarious. He's being a big brother. He's going to give him a fucking solar noogie, which is going to be really cute. Cover request by Kameda Hanauto? Chopper mistaking Zeus for cotton candy and taking a bite. Very cute, very funny. Love to see it. All right, what are we doing? Oh shit, Cross-Guild right off the bat. Here we go. We're literally like Cross-Guild publishes a thing and they're like, check out my, like, that is one awesome thing about Buggy, is like Buggy's not strong and he's not like intimidating, but like the coolest thing is he's just like kind of like actually like good at running like a business and like an organization. Like he's basically got like a printing press and like his whole thing is just marketing. He's like, look, I'm a flashy guy. I, have great marketing. I know some secrets because I've been on the Grand Line since back in Roger's day. I was on the crew of the Pirate King. So I have the street smarts to know like what to do versus what not to do and like where to get the good treasure and stuff. But his biggest thing is that he's just like, he's got all the bravado. He's got all the charisma. The badass clown boy himself. Literally the Joker. But what I love is, I don't know if it was Crocodile's idea to basically create an organization that like, would allow pirates to bounty hunt Marines, like put bounties on Marines' heads. Like that's such a great idea. If that was his idea. I think the idea must have been Crocodile's, but the fact that Buggy has like basically a printing press working under him, he's like, we got marketing experts, we got advertising people, we got, a fucking distribution system for information. Like, that is so based and so fucking dope. Like, wow. Like, it's just, everyone's playing their part, man. And like, I love that there's an organization that like is kind of not about being strong, but just about being like clever. And it's like, let's create like just like I went to business school. They have created like a disruptive business model essentially. So essentially what they've done, and what the business school term is like, disruption is essentially the idea that like essentially you're kind of creating something that is going to change the way the market operates, right? So like, even people in Blackbeard's crew were kind of like, yo, let's fuck off. Like, Blackbeard doesn't, like, pay us for when we, like, kill Marines or capture Marines. Let's go to fucking Cross-Guild and, like, get some money for this Kobe fella. How about it, Like, that's just such a smart idea, It's so good. I'm, like, this is the best thing that could happen with these, like, kind of, like, legacy characters. It's so good. I'm so excited to see more of it. Friendship ended with Aokiji. Zeus is my best friend. Yep, definitely. Molotov says, I remember the marine bounty idea being explicitly one of their ideas, but I don't remember whose. I mean, the idea to start a new, like, this type of company was Crocodile's idea. So I imagine this is like a Crocodile thing. Okay. Oh, fuck. Vice Admiral T-Bone was killed? Dude, I like T-Bone. He was a good boy. I remember Zoro fucked him up pre-time skip, but he was like a funny boy and a good boy, and damn, he's just been fucking like off-screen killed, murdered. That sucks. Vice Admiral T-Bone was adored by civilians and Marines alike, and the fans, and just the fans of the manga. Everyone loved this guy. He looked like a fucking knight in shining armor, but he also was like weirdly a skeleton. And he had a cool, like, knight sword, like, not a fucking weeb-ass, you know, katana. He had, like, a literally, like, you know, a sword with a blade on each end instead of just the, you know, single-sided blade or whatever. No, he was awesome. An obituary makes the front page. Damn, that sucks. News of his death shocked the world, but the Navy refused to comment on the details of the incident. Okay, well, conspiracy? I think yes. Why is so this is not anyone saying this. This is like the narrator saying this, or maybe it's like a excerpt from the paper. All right, so we got Navy HQ, and we got our boy Sengoku and Suru? Yeah, Suru, yeah. There's another character named Suru. It's fucking confusing. Oda, why would you name two characters literally the same thing, you fucking hack? There's a million things you can name people. Why would you name two characters literally the same thing? What the fuck? Alright, so Navy HQ. Have they caught the man who did it, says Sengoku. Nope, not yet. But we're certain the culprit's family is bound to be pretty well off after this. Oh, fuck. What's the world coming to, Otsuru-chan? The civilians were sworn to protect, we were sworn to protect, are stabbing us in the back. Damn, so maybe these guys are fucking, there's some, you know, some sort of, I mean, I guess blue lives just don't matter. That's what we're getting at here. It's unbearable. So they're, you know, man, we've been serving the people our whole lives, but now, you know, they're turning against us. What the fuck, man? You know, now we're just some pencil-pushing assholes, and, like, our reputations have been sullied just because we were trying to help. Fuck, man. Pirates aren't the only ones interested in money, you know. We Marines have bounties on our heads now. It's only natural. Oh, shit. I mean, yeah, that's a great point. Like, so Sour said this chapter's going to get political. Like, I kind of have my third eye open for political commentary here, so we're gonna have some chats, man. Anyway, okay, hold on. Molotov, T-Bone was the straight cutter, right? I think so, yeah. I think he was. He's the one who, Zoro fought when they were on the sea train. He kind of was, like, walking along the tracks, and Zoro and him clashed, or whatever. And he destroyed, like, a fucking sea train car by himself or something. And that was before Zoro cut the other train car in half, which was also really fucking cool. Sour Lemon says, bounty hunting, the international police force is so based. Indeed. Suru is from 102. Indeed, right? Suru, AMAB. Oh yeah, my men in blue, baby. Sour Lemon, the Marines realizing that they are the tools of the oppressors. This chapter literally describes the concept of ACAB. If you say so. Anyway, pirates aren't the only ones interested in money, you know. We Marines have our bounties on our heads now. It's only natural for people to come after us, especially in a place like Pee-Pee Kingdom, where over 1,000 die of starvation every year. Why don't they just suck more cock? You know, not the, you know, not COC is what I'm talking about. No, I mean, if, you know, just drink more piss. Yeah, that's all. It's no wonder he was killed there. Poverty, or I mean, Pepe. If it's Pepe Kingdom, it's clearly Italian. They should not be at a loss for fucking delicious, if not greasy, meals over there. It's no wonder he was killed there. Poverty and wealth. We all adapt to our circumstances. Yeah, pretty much, you know. Not that I'm trying to defend the culprit, of course, but nothing that, just noting that if this is what that darn clown had in mind, we've severely underestimated him. This is interesting. So we're seeing the Marines' perspective on Cross-Guild and, like, the effects that Cross-Guild has had on, you know, and I guess, so there's the thing happening with fucking Sabo, where Sabo was credited for killing a king. He was credited for the murder of, what's his face? Fucking, oh god, King Cobra. King Cobra of Alabasta. And basically, like, all the fucking far left, you know, extremely far left revolutionary people who aren't affiliated with the Revolutionary Army, who are more moderate, but, like, the actual, like, kind of, like, you know, fucking burn it all down, you know, libtard, no, not libtards, but, you know, like, the actual, like, full-on, you know, alt-left crowd was like, we gotta do this to all the kings, you know, fuck, Sabo's our hero, literally fuck every king, you know, like, let's fucking go. And clearly, like, that's not what the Revolutionary Army want. They're a bit more, like, kind of, they're clearly left-leaning. They clearly want, like, a change of the system, and they clearly want to get rid of, like, the fucking privileged-ass 1%ers who live on the fucking, you know, giant wall or whatever. But, you know, they're not quite so, like, brazen as to be like, we don't need, you know, police. We don't need Marines at all. The Marine, you know, clearly they've said the Marines aren't our enemies. We're taking out the Celestial Dragons, you know. They need to be dethroned. So, yeah, there's clearly, like, One Piece is doing an interesting job of, like, kind of portraying, like, a large swath of perspectives and opinions on these things. It's interesting. It's cool. But it is just neat to see, like, Suru and just a bunch of Marines having lunch in the fucking mess hall. Fucking, Sengoku's goat is eating, like, a napkin. And Suru, it's just really funny to see Suru and fucking Sengoku have, like, a water cooler conversation at work. Like, that's just really cute and really, like, humanizing in a way that I absolutely love. Nelanium, first time chatter. Good to see you, my bro. Sabo, the classical liberal. Yeah. Sabo, that fucking stupid centrist. Fuck that guy. Sabo's been Biden-pilled. He's not on our side anymore. Anyway. Sour says, the Marines realizing that they are the tools. Yeah, we've read that one. Cross-Guild are fascists attempting to overturn fascists. Our Cross-Guild feel like pure capitalists is really what it feels like to me. But I don't know. Like that's how it feels to me. Cross-Guild is the most kind of like they are just like anarcho-capitalist, you know, like that's how I see them. It's pretty funny, I guess. I don't know. They're pretty based. Molotov Bartender says, the thing that makes me cackle is the readers that ignore that 90% of the arcs are good kings are good, yeah. Or like, you know, like inherited, not will, but inherited, you know, people inherit the throne. Like, nobody elected Momo. They were just like, oh, I mean, I guess you could argue that, like, he was just unanimously accepted by the people. And, like, we saw him, like, save everybody, so, like, we know he deserves the respect that he has. But, like, they could have fucking done a vote, you know? They could have voted Kinemon, you know, base Kinemon, or, like, fucking, cool Yakuza man, Denjiro could have been, elected presidents of Wano, but, you know, who fucking cares? Like, clearly this is, like, you know, Oda is, like, Oda clearly believes that, like, local leaders who, like, are involved with their communities and care about, like, the people on, like, a personal level are fine. Like, that's clearly Oda's MO. He's like, obviously we got some bad people who are power-hungry, like Wapol and shit, or, like, Doflamingo or whatever, who are, like, kings of a country, but still kind of, like, you know, corrupt and shit, or, like, the people in Goa Kingdom or whatever. Like, but generally speaking, Oda's like, well, you know what, sometimes local rulers are good, like local governors or whatever. I think that his idea is like, yeah, like people like who are like go into politics that actually like are from the community, affecting the community around them, care about the community. Some of those people can be good, you know, and that is a totally fair stance. I agree with that. You know, that's a good thing. Anyway, Sour says, it's too charitable to think they are doing it for the sake of bettering society or leftist values. I'm not sure who you're referring to there, Sour. Sorry, it took me a while to get to that comment. Sour says, the revolutionaries are the actual leftists. Cross-Guild are basically just a terrorist group. I mean, I don't think the revolutionaries are leftists. They're just perfectly fine with, like, you know, like, they are not ACAB. Not even remotely ACAB. The revolutionaries are, like, not even close. Like, as we understand them now, they are not anywhere close. Like, do not align with ACAB at all, you know. They're like classical liberals. Yeah, exactly. Like, basically. Maybe, like, a little further, because they're actually taking action and not just sitting on their ass and, you know, letting their words do the talking. Although we've never seen Dragon do anything cool, so maybe they are just classical liberals. I mean, them going to Reverie was the coolest thing they did. But it was literally not to, like, assassinate anyone. It was literally just to, like, save their boy. You know, it was a rescue mission. That's all. I don't know, maybe they had a second mission, but we have not been informed on what that would be. All we know is that they were there for Kuma, and they got Kuma. They succeeded. Which is interesting. It's crazy that they were able to, like, that group of 4, like, fuckos and Sabo was able to compete with, like, 2 admirals. That seems, like, kind of weird, but whatever. I guess they're pretty strong. I don't know. What's Sabo's bounty now, by the way? Like, he's, like, basically kind of, like, I guess maybe he's dead now because of the fucking moonbeam or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like his bounty should be, like, pretty fucking high, because it was, like, 500 or, like, 600 or something. It should be, like, if he's, like, as dangerous of, like, inspiration, like, sun, what do they call him, like, flame god or whatever, the man marked by flames, you know? If he's still that way, like, I don't know, if he's like sparking revolution everywhere, he should be a pretty big deal to the world government, at least. Yeah, so Nalium says, I guess the assumption is that a good person will ostensibly raise good families who will lead responsibly. Yep. Yeah, that's the implication. Molotov says, so you're saying fuck the feds? Exactly. Federalism as a concept isn't a mistake. Federalism as a concept is actually literally, like, it was more, like, like, states kind of keeping their power. Which, like, yes, led to some, like, kind of bad things happening, like the Civil War and, like, you know, like 3/4 compromise and shit like that. But at the same time, like, the principles behind federalism are actually really good, like, inherently. It's basically, like, local leaders should have more control over their jurisdictions than federal leaders. And, like, should be able to, like, they should really be the ones kind of, like, you know, like, federal, like, it's basically the idea of, like, kind of creating, like, kind of, like, municipalities and, like, allowing, you know, people from the community to govern the community and, like, kind of, you know, govern more, like, locally, with giving more power, those jurisdictions more power over their jurisdiction than the federal government has over that jurisdiction. Like, that is actually, like, the premise behind federalism. And I, like, personally think that is smart, because, like, the way society worked for thousands of years, maybe millions or whatever, depending on what you believe, like, it literally was, like, you know, people were, like, tribal. Not in a bad way, but, like, in a way where it's, like, you and your tribe, like, everyone kind of helps the tribe, and they know each other's issues. It's like you're part of, like, an actual community, not like today in the United States where you, like, move somewhere new, and you fucking don't know anyone, and it takes you forever to get, like, connected with people or whatever, or unless you go to, like, church or some shit, you know? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, local municipalities have the best interests of, like, or, like, you know, that general, like, when you're in your tribe, when you're in your, like, small town or whatever, people know each other. They've known each other for years. Like, when you've grown up and, like, things are more insular, like, like, that leads to a more, like, healthy lifestyle for everyone involved, typically, like, 9 times out of 10. And, like, that is the way humans worked for forever. And the problem with today is, like, most people don't have that, or a lot of people, at least in America, do not have that experience. They are not connected to their communities in the ways that maybe that our ancestors would have been. And like, because of that, people are on social media all the time, which is fucking causing a ton of problems, you know, like making people retarded and like, you know, leading to like fucking weird shit with like, you know, I don't know, like it's, you know, it's just, these are my ramblings. This is the, well, fuck it. Let's read some One Piece. Actually, let's read some comments. Hold on. So, okay, yeah. Molotov says the Revs are just generally anti-federalists. Pretty much, yeah. I would agree with that. Oda's politics in the One Piece are not explicit, but about any form of government, he is primarily concerned with portraying all forms and interpretations of liberty. Yep, you're 100% right on that. Molotov says, I believe Sabo was a 3-star bounty, so based on Dressrosa, I think that's like, yes, but that was like his bounty that Doflamingo put on him. We know from the SBS that his bounty was like 600 before all this shit happened at Reverie. Now it's probably like way higher, like 3 billion or some shit. So, whatever. Sour, it's about anti-oppression and power to the people. Indeed. Sorry, I mixed up Kobe and Sabo. Yes, Kobe. Well, the Revs did overthrow the corrupt leadership on at least one island. We just don't know what their solution is for after the revolution. Indeed. Thank you, Nalanium. States' rights has only been had in the U.S. and is regularly used to justify oppression. Yes, but, like, the principle behind it, well, hold on, regularly used to justify oppression, that literally doesn't mean shit. Every fucking system on, you know, federal or not, you know, like, has been used to justify oppression. Like, that's, like, regularly used to justify oppression. Like, literally every governmental system has not been, you know, come on. Anyway, so, like, but even if that is true, which it is, I'm sure it is, and, you know, has been proven to be true on many occasions, like, power-hungry people are always going to try to abuse the power that they get, and seek more power in order to abuse it further, to further their own ends or means or whatever. Like, but it doesn't change the fact that, like, the principle of, like, you know, there being, like, essentially municipalities and, like, the idea of, like, people from the community should be governing the community and, like, know the actual needs of the community better than, like, someone on a federal level or, like, you know, a country leader or whatever would know than someone who's, like, the leader of a town or, like, the treasurer of a town or, like, the secretary for a town, you know, stuff like that. It's not only just proven to be true throughout history, it's fucking common sense. Like, humans are social creatures. Like, we need community to, like, live our best. And, like, we seek it when we can't get it in person, we seek it elsewhere. But, like, that is literally, you know, like, a biological truth as far as I'm concerned. So, anyway. Sour says, and is a stupid premise because it's not a federal government if it doesn't have power over its subsidiaries. The federal government is supposed to enforce laws that every citizen should be beholden to. That's not the argument that the federal government shouldn't have, like, a umbrella over that stuff. The issue is that when the federal government gets too involved in, like, local concerns, that's when things become a problem. There are principles, aka the Constitution, that, like, kind of is like, okay, here are some, like, broad points, like, don't kill someone, don't steal from somebody, don't, you know, do this, etc. You know, like, those are things that, like, yes, every human who lives in our country should follow these rules, be, like, literally the 10 Commandments, or whatever, you know, like, not actually the 10 Commandments, but, like, literally, you know, a short list of, like, these are the things that everyone who lives in our jurisdiction should not do. And then the more minutia stuff should be delegated, and typically is delegated, to, you know, the, you know, leaders of the states, or the leaders of the districts, or the leaders of, like, the counties, or the leader, you know, et cetera, people who, you know what their community needs, you know. Like it's that's the principle. Molotov says, I think it's just no celestial dragons. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that's a fair base. That's fair based on what we've seen so far. LOL. Thanks, Nellium. Sour says, I should clarify, is regularly used to subvert legitimate and democratic government rule so as to enact oppression. I mean, I can see what you're saying in the sense that, like, oh my god, I didn't mean to get this political so quickly, but like, I see what you're saying in the sense that, like, if there's like I said, the Constitution, the principles that every citizen should follow, which shouldn't be like a long list. It should be like a fairly reasonably sized list that it's like people can memorize and you can like teach the kids in school as they're growing up so they know not to like, fucking steal or attack their, people around them, etc. Like general principles, right? But if like a local jurisdiction decides to like ignore those principles and like, has power that they are then not reporting to, their, the federal, or the federal is not inspecting closely, that can lead to issues. So yes, I see what you're saying there. But here's the thing. I'm not saying that America does this perfect. In fact, America ended up going with a more like federalist than anti-federalist approach. In all things considered, especially after the Civil War, which, was probably necessary at that point in time. But there's debates on how far it's gone and like whether, whatever. But like the essential idea is like America is not even close to being a perfect example of how this system was meant to operate. You know what I'm saying? Based on like, I literally read the entire like Federalist Papers. Essentially the principles are good. It just doesn't always work in practice because people are corrupt and power corrupts, but the principle behind it, like the basic principles behind federalism are, I think, pretty interesting and make sense logically as like a good way to govern, but doesn't always shake out, especially when you have like, a country that's, so bogged down in bureaucracy like that it's easy for people in the know to get away with abuse of powers and stuff at any level of government, Even a lot of like local leaders aren't doing the best shit or aren't actually like the nice thing about local leaders and the way the system should work is that the local leaders are directly accountable to the people. And technically that's true, but a lot of people don't participate in local elections. I'm learning more about it now because I have a family member who's like, basically like trying to run for like, basically like just like a local council position type of thing or like a local county position. But, so like I'm learning more about like that process and how like involved those people are with like kind of, what's going on in like the community, and stuff of like their town. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting stuff. That's all. Anyway. Okay, hold on. A lot of fucking comments. I need to get back to reading the chapter. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll catch up on comments in a bit. I do want to get to everything, obviously, and this is an interesting conversation. But I need to like just actually read the chapter though. Okay. Pirates aren't the only ones interested in money. We Marines have bounties on our heads now, says Suru. It's only natural for people to come after us, especially in a place like Pepe Kingdom, where over 1,000 die of starvation every year. Okay, so like she's saying that like this place has humanitarian issues and the government is not doing enough to help. So of course, and like probably the local government is corrupt and isn't doing enough to help either. Maybe they're hoarding food like what was happening in Wano with Orochi, So yeah. Yeah. Like this is what we talked about playing out, right? So especially in a place, yeah. So poverty and wealth, we all adapt to our circumstances. Yep. Not that I'm trying to defend the culprit, of course, just noting that if this is what that darn clown had in mind, we've severely underestimated him. How can you, I just love that they're having a bunch of Marines are just having a fucking water cooler conversation in like the mess hall. Like to me, that's just like a really, like, as someone who's worked for like a big company, like to me that's like just a really interesting and like kind of like it's cool to see just like the workplace culture of like these fucking Marines. I don't know. And just like seeing these two like old like kind of semi-retired Marines just kind of like chilling and talking and like they're talking about serious shit. But like the fact that they're just like having a water cooler conversation is just really cute to me. You know, it just humanizes these guys in a big way for me. How can you protect and serve the people if you have to constantly look over your shoulder when you're around them? So that's how I guess this guy feels. Yeah, I mean, Oda's getting political. You were right, Sour. If we don't neutralize this cross-skilled group soon, this will kill the morale of every Marine and weaken the whole Navy. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, that's actually just true. People, like, you know, in 2020, a whole lot of fucking police resigned for you know, what I would consider reasonable reasons, you know. But also, you know, police were heavily criticized for, you know, abusing their power, and that was good too. That needed to happen, you know. There's a lot of fucking people getting away with a lot of bad shit. So like, yeah, you know, it's a balance, right? It's a balance. Like, like, controversial take. I know people in law enforcement, like good people, and I'm not fully ACAB, because like, here's the thing. If someone gets like fucking raped or murdered, like, there should be punishment for those people, and like, they need to be prosecuted. Now, I do agree that the way the police systems run, at least in the US, is like kind of a little fucky. I don't want to get too political here. Like, you know, there's obvious problems, like people, you know, get like a slap on the wrist for like killing somebody, you know, shit like that happens. Or like, you know, paid leave or some shit for that kind of dumbass stuff, and like don't get prosecuted for literally like murder sometimes, like just wanted murder, like caught on camera, you know, like that is absolutely fucked. But like clearly, like the cool thing, and this is another thing getting into, you know, the reason why, you know, this worked before we were like a global citizens, before we were like, you know, could communicate with someone anywhere in the world. Back when we were more tribal, back when the world was less like connected, this stuff worked better from like a natural evolutionary perspective, because the police or the sheriffs, because they didn't have like a lot of places didn't have like police department, but like there was like local rule of law, and like people knew people in their community. They would not fucking, you know, kill somebody without any consequences. You know, that just would not happen in those types of situations. Not always. Like, obviously, like, you know, anytime there's like an empire or like a large civilization, I'm talking about like small tribes here, and like not even small tribes, but like small communities. Like, when I say tribes, I'm not talking about like people in like, you know, like a third world country or anything like that. I'm mostly talking about like people who are like, you know, just like small towns, small communities where people grow up, they have kids there, like they live there like with their, you know, people for years and years and years and years, right? Like for centuries, for generations, right? Generational kind of like a generational growth of community, like where like people know about each other and care about each other. Like that's actually the way, like that's the best system, because it's local and like people know what each other needs and can support each other when people are going through financial tough times, you know, health crisis and stuff like that. Like there's like the more spread out you get, the more people are like, I'm gonna move to fucking, you know, LA because that's where all the jobs are. But and I'm not saying you can't create, like, you can't find people to be a community with you in like a big city, or, you know, moving somewhere else that you've never been before just because like, oh, I got a new job somewhere else. Like, I don't, like, back in the day, that's not how things were, and like we were probably better as like a species for it. Like what I'm saying is just like humans and technology have grown too big, and that's like the root of the problem of like a lot of, pretty much all of like our modern issues, is how I see it. Like humans were not meant to, you know, be able to like just relocate on a dime, and like we've kind of like fucked up like our literal evolution because of that, arguably. Anyway, not that I'm trying to defend the... Okay, so yeah, if we don't neutralize this this cross-skilled group soon, this will kill the morale of every Marine and weaken the Navy. Hey, Hina, have you seen Garp? Oh, fuck. He doesn't know Garp went to attack Blackbeard. There's a new rice cracker flavor I wanted to try. A rice cracker flavor? He said he was off to save Kobe a few days ago. Oh my god, so she knew and she didn't say anything? So he's probably teamed up with Sword. Pretty sure Kujaku's with him at least. What? So these two are like, excuse me? Don't tell me they've gone to Machinosu. Wait, Hachinosu. I don't know why I read that as an M. Anyway, let me read some fucking comments. I'm sorry, I've been ignoring them. I just want to make some headway in this chapter, you know. So Sour, I also want to say, like, I'm a little high right now. I'm probably not, like, explaining my thoughts on this as well as I could. So obviously, like, I don't mean to, like, you know, fucking trigger anybody or make anyone feel dumb or bad because I'm, like, expressing some minor, you know, opinions and, like, beliefs about how I think, you know, based on what I've read and seen and learned, you know, like, kind of governance should work or whatever. I'm probably not doing a great job of explaining myself, but hopefully you guys kind of see where I'm coming from and, like, see, like, what I'm trying to say. And again, like, this is just my opinion, man. Like, it's not like y'all have to agree with me. But yeah, I mean, like, it's fun to have conversations like that from time to time. I usually, you know, I know the whole thing in Nate's servers, like, don't get political or whatever. Like, I'm not even trying to get particularly political. I'm mostly just talking about, like, methods of governance and, like, you know, kind of, you know, like, just different solutions for, like massive, large-scale issues. And it's like, as far as I'm concerned, like, a perfect system of governance does not exist because you can't take into account, like, just the elements of humanity that are just, like, so chaotic and like, not everybody's gonna act the same or not everyone's gonna care about other people. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, it's tough to, you know, make any sort of large-scale system of governance that works as it should on paper. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So let's see. Sar says, I should clarify, is regularly used to subvert legitimate and democratic government rule as... Oh, I read that one. Molotov says, Sour, are you sure you even know what states' rights are? Haha. We got some people arguing. That's hilarious. Molotov says, fuckos in Alabama and California shouldn't be able to tell fuckos in Georgia what to do. I mean... Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, generally speaking, I would agree with that. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess it all depends. Like, if you're fucking up, like, an ecosystem that, like, affects people in other states, then, like, yeah, you probably, or, like, is, like, a humanitarian issue, then, yeah, you probably should, like, I don't know, not pour, like, your fucking trash in the river, I guess. Like that's something where, like, maybe the feds... or, like, a thing on a federal level should be, like, there should be, like, a, hey, maybe just, like, don't destroy the earth too fast. Like, you know, we gotta do our best to, you know, not fuck up, like, our environment so we can, like, still, like, fucking live and, you know, eat and, like, protect the world for future generations and shit. But whatever. Sour says, replies, unless the fuckos in Georgia are trying to oppress the people of Georgia. Sour says, it's almost like states' rights has consistently been used as a justification for slavery, anti-abortion, voting suppression, etc. Okay. I mean, sure. That's fair. Look, like I said just now, like, it's not, you know, no system, even with its merits, is, like, it's not easy to, like, execute a system that sounds good on paper, or that, like, on paper, like, kind of works with the, like, you know, should kind of encourage, like, you know, communal governance and, like, you know, actually giving a fuck about your community and, you know, caring about their needs and stuff. So, like, it's, you know, like I said, like, it's, like, I'm talking about the principles of federalism. I'm not saying that, like, America is the perfect example of the way this should work, because that's obviously not true. Hopefully you understand that, Sarah. It's almost like, I already read that. Bruh has got, I can't read that for whatever reason. I don't know. A fucking thing is covering the meme. Sorry, Molotov, I don't know what that says. Exactly. Meanwhile, current federal regulations are like 25,000 pages, exactly. The United States is a significant case study in why you cannot give too much leeway to subsidiary governments, because if you don't regulate those governments, they will abuse their power. Sour, on the one hand, I kind of agree, but it's also the best example of a country that shouldn't exist. The United States, as it exists, like, the United States was born from, like, literally, like, imperialist expansion And then now it's like, okay, we're gonna like, and basically just like, obviously people have moved about, but like it's still like each place, like LA does not have the same culture as like Texas does not have the same culture, or like places in Texas that does not have the same culture as like people in fucking Colorado or people in fucking Nevada or whatever. Like people from different communities have like different values and different structures, and to try to impart so much like whatever, like so much like to try to enforce a rule that should affect all people within those within this like massive fucking country that shouldn't exist and only exists because of like imperialist expansion. Like that in and of itself is a futile effort, and it is like in a perfect world, America, like United States would not be the United States. Each state would be its own country. Because like, and maybe they'd be in like an alliance or some shit. But like they're in an alliance literally because of imperialist expansion, and like other world powers also, imperialistly, expanding via imperialism, like it was like a defense mechanism, but it started as just like, oh hey, let's take some fucking more land and shit because we want to, and fuck any native people and shit like that. So like, it's like, how do I put it? Like, I don't remember what started this conversation. Anyway, fuck this conversation. So anyway, Star says you get a civil war and civil unrest. Yes, but that literally wouldn't be a problem if... okay, like I'm not talking about the American Civil War. I'm talking about civil wars and civil unrest in general. When you try to, enforce like a massive overarching system on places that should be governed locally, or like more locally than they are. Like, yeah, like the United States as it is should not exist, and like generally like as people like invented like different ways of travel and communication, like to be able to communicate with people like halfway around the world, like that is literally what has like destroyed like like the more healthy way of living that allowed for social like safety, like actual positive social safety nets. Like everyone who like loves socialism, the reason they love it is like there needs to be a way to like take care of people who don't can't always have what they need or need some help, which is like a very like empathetic viewpoint. I agree with the principle, but like the issue is that doing it on like a full scale governmental scale, it's so easy for like people in power to just like kind of, I don't know, like just fucking use it for their own gain. And like it's just so, it's frustrating to see. And like that's why like literally like a town is like where people just grow up in that town, continue to have like kids and shit in that town, and like barely are aware of the outside world outside of like stuff that they can like ride a horse to or whatever, is like generally like people who are content with that sort of a society and environment, like those that like people in the community take care of people in the community when shit, bad shit happens to people in the community. Like that is the like the most human thing in the world. Like that type of, society where like people in the community know each other, and like I don't know, like the world has grown too big and too connected, and it's literally, that is the root of all these issues that we're talking about, and it's kind of unavoidable in some ways, but it's also, it is also the problem. So I guess the true answer to these would be to literally do what they did in Attack on Titan, move someone, just say like, we're not allowed to be on these walls, and like, but literally do the Attack on Titan thing and have like, things outside the walls that can kill you, and literally just actually even in Attack on Titan, that's too big of a society because the people at the top did not fuck with the fucking peasants and shit, or like, it took like a revolution to like fix that system as well. So yeah, you know what, it is really hard to do that. Like ideally just do it for like a bunch of towns or like maybe like everything within like, I don't know, like 20 square miles, and like people are just told, oh, everyone has their mind wipe and they just don't know that the rest of the world exists, and then people are like, oh yeah, like like they're just told that anything outside the wall is bad. Don't go there. You'll die immediately. Like that would literally fix the problems in the world. Ideally. I mean, it wouldn't, because humans are gonna humans, and humans are gonna be, someone, even if most people are like empathetic and community oriented, there are gonna be people who just are not, and are just out for themselves, and are just gonna, try to take, so it's an unfixable problem, no matter what you do. And a lot of these problems aren't, like, doesn't mean we shouldn't work towards making things better, but, that's just the way of the world, man. Anyway. Holy fucking shit, it's over 108 pages of federal regulations. Sauer says, local leaders not being beholden to their constitutions is often a result of voter suppression, more so than a lack of participation. Yes, Sauer, but that also happens on a federal level as well. I'm just saying. So, Molotov says, I'd agree with that, but more so Battle of Athens style suppression rather than, I don't want to have to prove that I am eligible to vote. This is oppression, sort of. Nebula. Okay. Now we're getting into like some actual political discussions that I don't want to talk about. Like, I don't actually want to get into that shit at all. Suppression being redlining, gerrymandering, restrictions on when you can vote, restrictions on how you can vote, etc. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like, I hate how many rules there are around voting. It's so fucking stupid. Why can't I vote digitally? Why can't I vote from my home? I get it. There's like, it's basically just old people who are like, you're not allowed to do that because we need to see it we need to see you in person. Your son can't do it for you. Your grandma can't do it for you. Literally just like, I don't know, use a camera thing and then also have to upload your ID or literally that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Oh my God. It's the simplest, I guess then it's ID suppression. Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like most people, it should be free to get a fucking ID. The fact that anyone needs to pay for an ID sucks. So, yeah, these situations are complicated. Sheriffs and deputies are generally extremely good. It's policies that are political agencies of violence for the state against the people. Yeah. The police force were established as protection for capital. I mean, protection for capital in the sense of, like... I'll read the whole comment. And are state-sponsored violence who generally lack accountability. Originate to protect capital. I mean, if you say by protect capital, like, yes, I understand, like, literally protect property, but, like, I don't know, property kind of matters. Like, I don't know, abolish property, like, I hate that shit. So, and even, like, the main thing is just, like, people shouldn't fucking... on a general sense, like, you shouldn't, like, rob your neighbor. Like, you shouldn't, like, smash in that fucking store on the corner because you don't like the owner, like that type of shit. Like, it's like people providing a service to their communities is good, and, like, the exchange of goods and services is good. Not necessarily saying that the system we have is the best for that, but, but yeah. And the nice thing about local fucking governance is that the exchange of goods and services we don't need money for local governance. You can literally just be like, hey man, I brought you some fucking breadsticks that I cooked up in my oven over there. And then another person's like, oh darling, you did that for me? Here you go, have yourself some lumber, sonny. And like, then it's just like, it's just all, things you just grease the wheels. Like when you have, literally you don't have like a fucking giant network. When you're when the municipality you're governing isn't like so massive that you need to have like fucking currency, that's when we have a good system. That's all I'm saying. The police force were established as a blah 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 base team. I mean, the police also arrest people who fucking rape people. And try to, help. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Like, I'm not trying to say that, like, the way the police system works in America is good, because I don't agree with that at all. But, I don't think every law enforcement officer is, like, just a bastard, I guess. That's how I feel about it. But whatever. Base Tina says, Molotov, if the police force is structurally corrupt, it doesn't matter. I mean, how do you make the police force not structurally corrupt? It doesn't matter. And just saying... So, Sauer, when you say the police force were established as a protection for capital, are you talking about the American police force in general, or, like, just police? Every country has police. Like, that's the thing I'm confused about. Like, or, before police, I guess it was, like, guards, or... you know, people to enforce edicts or laws or whatever. Like, there really is no way to enforce that stuff if you don't have police. So, like, if you're saying that, like, the federal government needs, you know, to have kind of more of a say in, like, the way local municipalities do things because of fear of local corruption, they also need to be able to enforce those edicts, which means they have to have the bigger guns and the tougher shit, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's like, it's an unavoidable problem. The police forces act structurally corrupt, blah, 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 ACAB and the Marines, so wait, hence ACAB and the Marines suck. I mean, yeah, we also just know that the Marines have, like, you know, like, helped a lot of people as well. Like, I don't know, it's tough. And, like, that pirates are, like, also, generally speaking, a malicious force that are trying to, you know, like, steal, pillage, and rape everybody. So it's like, yeah, when, you know, like, there are times when Marines will help with that and, like, do what they're meant to do, which is protect the communities that they're meant to protect. But in a local governance situation, you would have the people, like, you would have sheriffs and or, like, you know, people who are part of the community protecting the community. That is still technically, like, arguably police, but, like, it's just, you know, I don't know, it's tough. Like, I would more call that sheriffs, which is, like, the preferred way to call it, or, like, you know, local kind of, like, militia or whatever. But, you know, that's just that, whatever. Wait, Molotov. Oh, wait, hold on. If police forces, Molotov says, I didn't even know you were doped up. I like took a small edible like an hour ago or something. It's not a big deal. I'm pretty, like, I'm able to, you know, I'm like a functional, funny man who functions inebriated sometimes when I want to. I would say my interpretation of federalism is a coalition of countries rather than one full country, which is inherently problematic. Yep. Yeah, Sour and I agree on that one. Sour, it's like the UN. No one actually listens to the UN since it's a coalition, not a government. Oh, okay, so you're saying that's a bad thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, but the UN's also fucking weird and corrupt and doing shit as well. So, like, I don't know. It's tough, you know. It's like the people who pay the most money have the most control over the UN, which is like the US right now. So, Sour, you thinking of federation? Federalism. Oh my god. Federalism and anti-federalism is about the strength of the federal government. What I'm saying is that federalism is really close to a federation. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying, Sarah. That's helpful. And early United States was built upon effectively the principles of a federation. Yep. Whether they called it federalism or not. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point of view. In any case, I believe in democratic governance. I just think that there needs to be strong federal power through democracy, even in as large and diverse a country as the U.S. That's fair enough. I mean, I don't disagree. If like, we are in a situation where the U.S. isn't going to let, you know, a bunch of states secede from the Union or whatever. So, like, so yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, if we're gonna stay, you know, one nation under God, under Goda, we gotta, you know, keep it a buck. And, like, yeah, I agree with that. Molotov says, emoji, two wolves, Sour. This really has become very unrelated to One Piece at this point. I apologize, my bad. I don't know whose bad was it. It's clear I'm the one doing the stream, so it's definitely my bad, dude. You don't have to apologize. I don't know. Would I have gone in so, like, politically minded if if I hadn't seen Sour's tweet before this? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. But it's not your fault, dude. I'll take the heat for it. Why can't you vote digitally? There's an extremely good reason. Oh, shut up, Molotov. You are assuming that every single person in the chain is of good... Dude, if you literally have a way to, like, if you have to take a picture, which has a fucking digital timestamp on it, like literally a picture of your face while also uploading your, like, your ID, your fucking state ID, whether it's driver's license, fucking, you know, the you know, just general ID, or like a passport or something. Like, why isn't that good enough? That should be, like, that you cannot take a picture of your, like, what is it gonna do? Like the fucking I guess nowadays it's kind of tough because of the fucking deep fakes and shit. Oh fuck. I guess that's kind of fair, but, like, pre-deep fakes, there was no reason why this couldn't be done on an app. And even now, I just assume, you know, like, it has to be uploaded through, like, taken via the app, I would say. Like, that's something you can program an app to request to do. So, whatever. Yeah. Molotov, you're an incredibly asinine assumption. That's what I have to say about that. And not being able to vote digitally is fucking stupid and retarded, and basically has been retarded. And the only people who disagree with it are fucking like old fogies and like hardcore Republican retards, basically. So yeah, don't be one of those guys. IDs are free in every state. If you genuinely can't afford the $20 or so I don't know, like literally why not make it free? If every citizen need one in order to be able to vote, it should be free. That's why. Yeah, I shouldn't have to pay any money for that. You can get them for free. Like, I should be born and like required by law to take a new ID picture every few years. And like someone from the fucking government should be able to like do a house call to take a picture for it. You know, that's literally how it should be. You can get them for free by filling out a single form in every single state. Well, if that's true, that's cool. But I've had to pay every time I've gotten an ID. Every single time. So, just saying, if it is free in every single state, it is not well advertised. And that is the fault of the, municipal governments, the state governments, and the way the system works. So fuck that shit. I do not condone it. Sour says, it's more broad than that. Historically, the police force... The police force. Okay. So historically, the police force was established to protect owners of companies as opposed to the workers. Not really crime related. Okay. But the thing is, there's also literally, before the word police was in anyone's vocabulary, there were people who were like, designated to, okay, maybe not like solve crimes or whatever, but like generally speaking, if someone is like, who isn't supposed to be, I'm not talking about like ancient times. I'm more talking about like modernish times, like the fact that like citizens are meant to be protected under like a democratic system, etc. And anyone who anyone who is killed, at least by law, like there is an investigation into like how it happens. Like there is the coroners are called in to figure out like. And, like, the fucking autopsy people are called in to be like, okay, like, we need to have something on the books as to, like, a cause of death and stuff like that. And, like, yes, I know that doesn't always work in practice, but, like, that, like, and that people will just get thrown into a fucking river or, fucking, like, like, melted in a vat of acid or, like, put in the fucking ground, like, just behind someone's house. Like, I'm just saying, like, the fact that that is literally required by law is good. Like, it is a good thing, and it does lead to, like, people getting brought to justice, and that is good. Like, I don't really know what to tell you. And, like, regardless of whether it was founded upon the principles of protecting property or not, of course it is. Every guard system is literally, like, people who can afford to pay for guards. But at least in, like, most countries today, like, most, I don't like using first world as a term in general, but, like, most like not civilized, most like developed countries will have like a like force that kind of like actually kind of like, at least from a structural perspective, care regardless if you die, regardless of your like home, unhoused, or if you're a fucking CEO. Like, yes, they'll probably have more incentive to fucking look into it if you have, like, connections and family and people, like, nagging them about it, or, like, you're, like, known in your community or whatever. Like, but, like, they literally, by law, have to have something on the books. So, that's all I'm saying. Like, that's a good thing. And, like, regardless of how it started or not, that is how it works now, and that is good. So, it should work better because, human error and corruption, obviously, but like that is actually like genuinely a good thing. Also, I'm not a police abolitionist, but American police are draconian. Yeah, that's fair. A lot of times for sure. In many cases, force was established to protect. Yeah. Also, I'm not a police. Okay, police are, broadly speaking, agents of oppression. I wouldn't go that far, but I can see why you would say that. I don't know. The thing is, a lot of, like, local municipalities still have, like, sheriffs and deputies and shit. So, like, I don't know. Like, it's it's tough to call. It's tough to call. Like, it's definitely gotten worse in some ways. But, you know, the fact that we have body cam footage and, like, you know, social media does help kind of push back on these things a little bit. Obviously, there should be more reform. I agree with that. Albeit necessary ones, just certainly not to the degree of America or most Western nations, to a much lesser degree. Yep, fair. Molotov says digital files means a digital tally, and that means you can make the result be whatever you want. Okay, have literally someone look over the, you know, I don't know. It's like there are ways to, you know, whatever you want. Yeah, because everyone who's fucking, you know, using a software can just go in and edit the software. Yeah, no, that's, I don't think you've, you know, no, that's not how that works, buddy. They have SS numbers to offset deepfakes and other personal, I will say, things going digital, like election stuff going digital, would create additional concerns about, like, someone, like, hacking shit. Like, so that's fair. Like, that is a fair concern. It's still, like, at this point in time, that concern should be taken into consideration, and they should still do it, because there should be ways to safeguard against situations like that. That's all I'm saying. There's no reason why in 2023 that's still not a possibility. That's just fucking stupid. And literally is people trying to, like, make it harder for, like, people with, like, actual disabilities to vote. Or, like, people who can't, you know, literally can't afford an ID. They have the SS numbers to blah, 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 deepfakes and other personal ID mechanisms. Yeah, exactly. Sarah, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The London police forces from, like, 1550. That's pretty funny. American police, but also all police under capitalism do exist. I mean, you say under capitalism, dude, like, literally any system that has a fucking militia that works for, like, the local government or the state government or, like, the federal government can be corrupted. And, like, that's the main thing I hate about, like, far leftists who are, like, so focused on capitalism. It's like, communism would work great. You know, fucking, the other thing, socialism would work great. It's like, there would still be people at the top, you know, and people abusing their power regardless. Like, and it's like, well, not if socialism worked perfectly. And it's like, okay, well, if federalism worked perfectly, things would be better too, you know? It's like, you can't fully account for, you know, human greed and human error and, you know, that shit like that. That's all I'm saying. But also, this is the most political I've probably ever been online, and maybe I'll regret it, but who fucking cares? But also, all police under capitalism. Okay, I read that one. It's not about the user; it's about the people running the election. Okay. That's why you have fucking systems in place to make sure it doesn't go that way. Ballot machine go brr is harder to do than just going into a TXT and making an edit. Yeah, well, also go, you know, if there are fucking, like, good encryption, people won't be able to go into a TXT and make a fucking edit when they're using, like, there's only systems that can access the results, essentially, right? There can and should be a physical election audits, but online vote, yes, agreed. But online voting should be an option just like early voting, mail-in voting, 100%, yep. Again, I'm not describing corruption, I'm describing a structural flaw. I mean, dude, I get what you're saying. But, like, all of these systems have structural flaws, bro. They all have structural flaws. Like, that's all I'm saying. Deflections to corruption effectively ignore criticisms of capitalism structurally. Sure. There is no system without a fucking structural flaw. No system of governments does not, you know, contain is exempt from structural flaws. So I'm not trying to defend capitalism, because fuck it. Like, late stage capitalism fucking sucks. But, like, you know, but at the same time, like, that's all, you know, there is no perfect system. Molotov says all men aren't angels isn't a structural flaw in capitalism. Okay, shut up. Okay, I'm actually done reading these now. Back to the fucking chapter. Okay, we got the fucking Empty Bluffs Island, New World. Good job crossing the seas and making it here. Thank you. Wait, what? Be proud. The emperors of the underworld are smiling because of you. Interesting. Oh, Cross Guild and the Empty Bluffs Island is so based. I love how it's literally just a giant circus. It's so good. It's so good. I barely talked about One Piece because of you guys are making things political. Okay, no, it's not. I'm not blaming me anymore. I'm blaming you guys. Fuck you guys. Stop arguing about politics. Let's talk about One Piece. I will not read another comment about politics. That's how I feel. Everyone is proclaiming the birth of the new star, a champion of evil. This guy is a champion of evil? This fucking... What? I heard my family received the payment. Thank you so much. Don't mention it. You took down one of the Navy HQ's finest vice admirals. Wait, this dude wasn't a vice admiral? Wait, I thought T-Bone was like a fucking captain. When did he become a vice... I guess over the time skip he became a vice admiral? You're evil charisma incarnate. Stop being so humble. Yeah, that's awesome. Buggy is like everybody's hype man right now. I fucking love it. Sarah says we should change to socialism because it's less problematic than capitalism. This is the only moment I've ever wished I had Nate's soundboard and I could hit the fucking button that says, shut up, bitch! You know, this is the only time I've ever felt like that. But whatever. Fair enough. Both systems are flawed, but maybe it would work better? Probably not. Believe it or not, something date feudalism? Why can't I fucking... Sorry, guys, my computer's being weird. Sometimes it, like, will cover shit. Or maybe it's Twitch that's being weird. Yay, One Piece time! Wait, what does currency have to do with economic systems? That man of evil must have wild as fuck hockey. Oh yeah, dude, this guy's cock is off the charts. Biggest cock in the game, for sure. Your crazy stunt really shocked the Marines. They'll have your head for sure if they catch you. Heck! Even if I can't see my family ever again, it's better than watching them die of starvation. Oh, that's why. Oh, dude. This is fucked up. I'm so hungry. Dude, that's so fucked up, dude. People die, like, dying of starvation is so fucked. Rest easy, friend. We'll take care of you as a fellow pirate. As a pirate? Get it? One of the emperors is taking you under his wing. The bombastic clown himself. Buggy-sama. Yes! Based Buggy. He's on another level. The 2-bit pirates. I love that Buggy is just taking other, like, absolute weak-ass bitches under his wing. That's kind of cute, actually. I kind of love that. He's on another level. The 2-bit... So this guy's going to be like a based clown pill joke. This guy's going to be literally the Joker. But the next time we see him, he's going to straight up be... Like, he's going to look just like fucking the Joker. It's going to be great. The 2-bit pirates you've met before aren't fit to lick his boots. Buggy's dancing. I see him up there like, yeah. Doing his fucking queen dance. Never forget this moment. You're standing face to face with a living legend. They're gassing him up, boys. They're gassing him up. Yeah, it's Buggy-sama in the flesh. Buggy in the flesh. Buggy in the flesh. Buggy in the flesh. Fuck yeah. And Buggy's just doing his fucking funk dance. Sorry to interrupt you, Barley-sama. You're so fresh. That makes me sound like some kind of cereal. Okay. Why'd he call him Barley instead of Buggy? We finished it, sir. A ship worthy of Cross Guild. Oh shit, he's got sick-ass shipwrights? Leave the ship to me. I've got some talented shipwrights under me. Oh shit. So he's talking to Crocodile and Mihawk. So Mihawk's the manlet of the group. And Crocodile has gotten taller, or maybe he was just always taller than Mihawk. That's interesting. They built him. They put his fucking face on it. That's so funny. Making you the figurehead was the obvious choice, Chairman Buggy. I think it turned out great. That's so funny. I fucking love that. Oh, they're gonna kill him. You expect us to use this thing? Let's take this to the meeting room. Oh, he's so whipped. I mean, he's kind of getting everything he wants. I mean, the ship looks great. I liked Buggy's old ship, but this ship looks good. And now, Crocodile and fucking Mihawk are just gonna fucking... Alright, buddy, bend over. It's time to resize that hole of yours. Anyway, let's see what y'all are saying. Wait, what that man of evil must have been wild as fuck hockey. Motherfucker should have just planted some foods, SMH. To summarize, the political moral of the first 3 pages, ACAP. Now we move on to systemic poverty under oppression governments. Indeed, my man, indeed. You know, you mentioned Hassan Abi, I think, on Twitter, and like how people are like criticizing him for saying, I wanted to talk about this because you were saying that like people are criticizing him for even insinuating that One Piece might be political. I think most people understand, like most people with like functioning cerebral cortex understand, like, yeah, every story, most stories have something to say, and that like you can argue that like whatever the theme is, whatever like it's trying to convey, like in terms of, you know, like this is the value that we are, you know, promoting as, you know, a good value through our story, or like maybe a bad value about something, or like critiquing, you know, certain societal situations or norms or values, etc. I think most people would, I mean, yes, there are people who would be like, no, I just want funny story. But those people are like, you know, 5 IQ idiots, you know, brainless. But like most people would say that like, yes, most stories have like something they're trying to say about the times that they exist in. What I think most intelligent people would criticize about Hassan Nabi's take on One Piece is that he thinks it's like that Oda's just a leftist. And like, I do think Oda is pretty like left-leaning, but he also definitely has some like libertarian, you know, feelings and tendencies, and like, you know, identifies with certain libertarian values as well. So like saying it's like a fully like revolutionary leftist story when Oda is very explicitly in the SBS been like, yeah, don't fucking, yeah, listen to the cops, kids. Like literally don't fight the cops, kids, you know, etc. Like, yes, he's making some cultural criticism, which is cool. I like that. But he's also, like, he's not doing it fully from a leftist perspective. Like, he's also very much, you know, like he's a bit libertarian pilled as well, is what I would say. And I don't think, even, like, people like Gibb, who's, like, a fairly left-leaning person, like, would also agree with that, you know? So, you know, I think Gibb describes herself as a leftist. I'm pretty sure I've heard her on an episode of their podcast or whatever say, like, yeah, like it has, you know, it's not fully left. It's not a fully left-leaning or leftist story, you know? And I think Hassan Nabi just is like kind of just like a fucking, like, I'm not saying he's dumb. He is like, when it comes to like media stuff, like he's kind of a fucking chud. Like, he's kind of a fucking idiot, you know? Like, I think he misses a lot of shit and only sees what he wants to see, you know? He chopped his eyes. I thought you were going to say he chopped his penis. That's what I really want to see. You can read politics into OP. I mean, but I think OP is in no way political. Well, that's stupid. You can read politics into BL Isekai trash. That doesn't mean they're political works. Literally everything, like, I when people say something's political, they mean it's saying something about the way the world is, you know, or it's commentating on the state of the way things are in some way, shape, or form. That's literally all that it being political means. So when people say that, and then people like we're like, oh, it's not overtly political, like, you know, just be smarter than that, understand what, you know, being political means in context, and just accept that it has stuff to say about the way the world works and is, because that's just true. Sour, it says Oda is only libertarian as far as leftists are libertarian. He advocates for liberty, freedom, and self-determination. That's fucking not true at all. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. No, like, Oda is definitely more based than your average leftist. Let's just say that. I mean, not even that. Like, it's just, you know, Oda is not like advocating for like actual upheaval of world systems as they exist. At least not in that many words. Like, maybe certain systems. I know he wants to change the way like mangaka are treated by fucking Shonen Jump. And he's commentated on that before, but that's all I'm saying. Molotov says he is in fact dumb. Whatever. I wouldn't go that far, but whatever. He's not leftist insofar as making his story explicitly about leftist politics. He doesn't, but he features leftist politics in a positive light. Yes, but he also features, like, you know, literally like Elon Musk kind of guys also in a positive light. Like, he loves fucking Iceberg, you know, who basically runs like a like, like Water 7 is like is kind of like the most positive, like a very positive portrayal of like a very capitalistic society type of thing. But it's also, the reason it works is because it's small scale, very small scale. Millennium says, the fact that Luffy is his MC to me hints that any of Oda's leftist views are tempered by ideas of individual freedom and arguably Buddhist values. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. He cares about those way more. At a wider scale, systems do need to be built in ways that are not evil, as shown by the Celestial Dragons being a horrible system, 100%, like kind of like inherited privilege, kind of. But at a level of an individual, OP advocates agency and compassion and ambition. Yeah, and like good local governance, you know? Like the reason Water 7 is like, despite it being like a fairly capitalistic society where like literally the leader of the town is also like the biggest business owner, like essentially like kind of like the inventor, like the Musk on paper, like the he's not even Musk, because he doesn't invent shit, he just buys shit and patents and okay, like I'm not saying he's an idiot, but like, you know, or he's never done any science or engineering or whatever, but like he's like Iron Man. Essentially, like he's like a good portrayal of like a tycoon guy who like actually knows what he's doing, but also cares about the people that work for him and the town and like wants to make it better. You know, that's all. Hassan's commentary. Compassion and ambition. Yes, that's a good way to put it, Millennium. An emoji of a chair. Oh, an empty chair. Lamau. Like One Piece doesn't say anything specific about leftist politics or systems, but it describes a lot of leftist movements and such. Yes, but it doesn't always describe them 100% positively. It mostly does, but not all the time. I mean, Big Mom is literally like an SJW, but in a lot of ways. I don't even like using that term. That term is so cringe nowadays, but like she's like, it is funny that like on paper she wants everything to be like equal and everyone to see eye to eye, and like she wants to have all the races, but like only to like put in books and shit, like just to be able to say like, oh yeah, I'm so fucking woke, I love all the races of the world, even though it's just like, it's like someone who just like wants to be friends with a bunch of people from different cultures, like a white girl who wants to be friends with like people from different cultures, just gonna be like, well, my Ethiopian friend said, like, you know, it's literally Big Mom is literally one of those. But the great thing about Big Mom is that Oda literally portrays her as evil. Like literally like one of the most evil people in the world is like just performatively like leftist, etc. Like essentially, like, you know, that's so base. Like that's why Big Mom is the best character because she's political. No, I mean like I'm probably reading some stuff into that, but like I do think there's a surprising amount of like funny overlap between Big Mom and like, I don't know, like Big Red or whatever, that one person that was the meme back in the day. Oh god, Big Mom is a liberal fascist. Yeah, no, she is, dude. I mean, like literally. Oh my god, truth and liberals suck. No. Big Mom is a leftist. She is an authoritarian leftist, like the alt-left people who suck. Authoritarian leftism. You expect us to use this thing? Okay. Let's get back to reading One Piece, shall we? Let's hear it for the greatest ship ever. You guys really outdid yourselves. In the meeting room, public awareness of Cross Guild is growing as planned. Oh fuck, they fucked him up. Look at, he got his head just hanging from like a hook in a dungeon. Oh my god, that is so fucked. Let's hear for the greatest ship ever. Oh man. In the meeting room, public awareness of Cross Guild is growing as planned. The Navy is starting to understand the threat we pose. We need to have unparalleled influence to form our utopia. Oh shit, utopia. Well, that's a new word for these Cross Guild boys. What does he mean by that? And become a strong military state. Oh, so they're actually trying to like create like a sort of like what Big Mom had in Totland, like a strong military state. Wow. Okay. But before all that, we need to establish our overwhelming power, right? Please, just kill me already. The pain. This is wrong. This isn't how I wanted my life to go. And to do that, this is so fucked up. Like, he's just genuinely begging for death. I never thought Buggy would be like this abused housewife with her 2 husbands. Oh my god. Oh god, that's so funny. Millennium cracking up. Oda can't help but do Buggy dirty. Oh yeah, he is stronger than Shanks, indeed. This is why I describe Cross Guild as fascist. Yeah, I mean they want to build like a fucking military dictatorship, I guess. They want to overthrow the fascist government to instill their own fascist government. Yeah, fair. And to do that, we've got to find a way to gather an enormous amount of wealth. What? Wealth. You're saying we need wealth and power, right? Oh, so Buggy's actually speaking up. What? Wealth? You're saying we need wealth and power, right? I may be out of line here. Is he going to talk about Captain John's treasure? Please, let's do it. And I know you may do away with me for saying this, but how can you call yourself pirates without schemes like that? What did this cockroach just say? You're doing it all backwards. Oh, fuck. Is he about to, like, actually give them a good idea? You must have heard, right? You know Red-Haired is making his move, too. We used to be on the Pirate King's crew together, but circumstances prevented us from going to Laugh Tale with the others. Now tell me, way back when, what did you guys want to be? When I sailed with... Oh, shit, we're getting Shanks' backstory? Oh, God. This is cool. Okay. When I sailed with Shanks, he shone so brightly with potential. I knew I couldn't measure up, so I let go of my real dream. Oh, shit, so that's why Buggy became such a fucko, huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. I like that. He just, like, was like, damn, Shanks is, like, the real deal, and I just can't keep up. Shit. That's actually... Damn. That's... Wow. That's real right there. Buggy is so based. Wealth, fame, power. Music starts playing. Fame, wealth, power. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. When I sell with Shanks... Okay, so 24 years ago, the day Gold Roger was executed. So I think we've seen a panel that looks like this, where Buggy and Shanks are arguing after Roger's death. You said it yourself, didn't you, Shanks? You said your crew would reach Laugh Tale one day, too. Yeah. But I've changed my mind, for now at least. I knew this. Buggy's goal is not to reach Laugh Tale. It's to... Probably something to do with Blackbeard. If I... Like I talked about earlier, if I had to guess, that's what I would expect. But whatever. I'm not ready to go for it yet. What? But I'm still going to be a pirate. You're not the next generation's king. I misjudged you, Shanks. Oh, so he thought... So Buggy thought that Shanks would be like the next king of the pirates. And he's like, damn, you're actually just a bitch? Come with me, Buggy. I'm not going to work under you, idiot. You coward. Oh, so that's why you called him out. Don't you care about following in Captain Roger's footsteps? You haven't forgotten, haven't you? It's your fault I lost that treasure map. I still haven't... Oh, so he like... Okay, so Oda's doing a bit of a retcon here, but I kind of like it. I think what Oda's doing here... Because back when we first met Buggy, the whole thing was like, Buggy like saw the Luffy's straw hat and he's like, yo, fuck that. I hate straw hats, and I hate that one specifically, because my friend Shanks used to wear it, and he was always like, you know, one-upping me, but now we know they were, like, now it's been, over time it's been kind of retconned that Buggy and Shanks were actually, like, best buddies. And, like, what we're seeing here is that Buggy thought so highly of Shanks that he literally gave up his own aspirations to become, like, a strong badass in the world, because he just thought Shanks was going to be the next Pirate King. Like, he really believed that his bro was going to do it. And I think if Shanks had said, dude, yeah, I am going to become Pirate King, let's fucking go, Buggy would have, like, been like, fuck it, man, I'll join forces with you. Let's do this. He would have been Shanks' Zoro or some shit. Like, he would have trained hard like Kobe did and been like an actual badass or something. But instead, Shanks renounced his dream. So Buggy, to save face, being like, I'm not going to serve someone who doesn't have, like, that, like, the grand ambitions that Roger had, like I thought you would. Instead, I'm going to, like, make up a reason for why I still don't like you and why I won't work with you. I can see why someone wouldn't like that, because it is, like, a little bit, of, like, it's a bit of a retcon. But I actually think it adds depth to the relationship between these two guys. I think this is actually kind of interesting. I'm going to allow it. I still haven't forgiven you for that. You better watch your back next time we meet. Wow. That no-good Shanks is finally making his move, but what good is it now? I don't know why, but somehow, through luck or chance or whatever, we're on equal footing again. Okay. I mean, you're literally fucking, your head is severed and you're being hung from a wall by your crewmates, but... And if that's the way it is, I may as well go ahead and say it. I want to be king of the pirates! Fuck yeah, Buggy! Fuck yeah! That's what I'm fucking talking about. Let's do it. If Buggy doesn't become king of the fucking pirates, I'm fucking rioting. This is the shit. This is awesome. Hell yeah. Wealth, power, fame. The king of the pirates had treasure beyond his wildest dreams. When he was hung from the gallows, these were his final words. My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first. I left everything I own in one piece. Oh, I love that intro. So good. Buggy is so based. Yes, indeed. What do you mean, would have been an actual badass? He is a badass. Yes, my mistake, Molotov. My mistake. I'm sorry. I recognize how badass he is. He is truly a badass. Buggy wanted to be like Rayleigh. Damn peepo sad. Damn peepo sad? I don't know what that means. Buggy better than Luffy. Let's go Buggy, yeah! We'll actually become the Pirate King. Oh, fuck yeah. You know it, bros. You know it. Wealth, power, why stop there when we can have it all? Let's go for it. Let's go and claim the ultimate treasure. So they're going for... They want to do this before they create their, like, military dictatorship. And Crocodile literally fucks him up. Yeah! Oh, no, he fell off the wall. Yeah! I can't believe you're deluded enough to buy your own con. Remember? We're only letting you keep that title of yours because it benefits us. You think we're just going to carry you to the top? We're not playing pirates here. This is serious business. You don't have a clue, let alone a plan. Oh, man. That's true. Oh, no, I bet you he does have a plan, though. I bet you he does have a plan. We're going to see it. We're going to get a glimpse into Buggy's true dream. Do you really expect us to just go pick fights with red hair, Blackbeard, and Straw Hat? I love how it's funny to see Luffy listed among red hair, Blackbeard. It's a scramble for the treasure. We only need to beat them to it. Yeah, so he's like, we don't even have to fight, guys. Like, and that's true. They just need to find that one. They literally just need to find my boy. What's it called? They literally just need to find... Oh, fuck. I didn't even notice the Den Mushi right next to him. Oh, my God. This is going to be really funny, isn't it? He's just saying, like, look, we don't even actually have to fight these guys. We need to find, like, you know, we just need to get the poneglyphs. That's it. Like, Roger snuck in and got Lin's poneglyph. He did not have to fight her, you know? There's a way to do it. It's a scramble for the treasure. We only need to beat them to it. Let me show you. There are some words that light a fire in the heart of every pirate, and it's because they all set sail for the same reason. Clack, and oh shit, the Den Mushi, now he's going to announce it to the whole pirate crew. Listen up, men. Stop it, Buggy. Ah, huff huff, what dream drove you all to the sea? Chairman Buggy wants to give us back that spark. Oh man, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Every moment you cling to life might be your last, so why ignore that screaming urge inside you? Fuck yeah, based Buggy! Dream-pilled Buggy, that's what I'm talking about. Dare to dream, Buggy, dare to fucking dream. If you gave up because the reality of it was too daunting, now's your chance. It's time for us to set sail, to reach out and grasp what we all desire most. It's time for us to finally go and claim the One Piece! Yayo, yayo! Hell yeah, dudes. Okay. This is one of those moments where I kind of wish I had Nate's soundboard. That's all I'm saying. Good shit. Good fucking shit. Buggy rizzes up the pirate world. Oh, it's a 7 TV emote, lol. Oh, I gotcha. Peepo sad is an emote. Thank you. Thank you, Baxter. Okay, now I'm just copying Nate's thing. Buggy-sama always has a plan, lol. Or rather, a scheme. Yes, he's always got some sort of scheme cooking. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a plan. That's a good point. God, this is so unfathomably base and he truly has the charisma of a king. He has the charisma of a fucking god. Woo! Everyone's cheering him on. Everyone's crying. He's lit a fire under literally everyone. And now they're like, now they're stuck. Now they have to do it. And they're so mad. I've never seen Mihawk look this shooked in his fucking life. Why you? And now they can't kill him. They can't kill him because if they do, this whole giant crew is going to attack, like is going to fuck with them basically. What the fuck is going? What am I looking at? What you think about ship? It enemy or what? Why is this guy talking like a baby? Who it be? Come on, he's fucking Yoda over here. This weird fucking cow man. Coming back to Queendom. Green Grand Line. Oh shit. Who are these guys? We're Crash Crying, so she's a fucking bionic armed girl. Kind of cute. I like her ghostly eyes and I like her outfit. She's just cute. This guy's a fucking abomination. I fucking hate this cow man. Like fucking weird, long-necked cow freak. Is he a mink? I don't know. He looks fucked up. He's a pear-shaped asshole. Okay, we got an Eggman. And we got a fucking guy who looks like literally Yanji over here. We're Crash Clang. Want to bet on it? I wager it's an enemy who's in. I wager it's an enemy. Oh, so Eggman wants to make a bet. Looking like fucking, honestly, I love Baron Tamago. I wonder if this guy's the same race as Baron Tamago. No, Baron Tamago had a fruit, actually. He had, like, the egg fruit or whatever. This guy might just be, like, a weird-looking man. Or maybe he has the other egg fruit. Maybe his egg fruit model, what would it be? Egg fruit model, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Or something. Sounds good to me, Jeh. I'll put on mill? I'll put 1 mil on it, being Sabo, making a safe return. You what? So there's a ship coming. They're not sure if it's an enemy or Sabo. Revolutionary Army Vice Captain of the West Army, Ushiano. Okay, so these are like more generals, I guess? Morley's subordinate. Okay, so this girl's Bello Betty's subordinate. She's way better looking than Bello Betty. Bello Betty's design is so shit compared to this girl in her cool robot arm and schoolgirl uniform and fucking sick-ass, like, ghostly-looking face with the goggles. She's got a great design. Akiru, Vice Captain of the East Army. Revolutionary Army, Vice Captain of the South Army, Gyambel, Limburg subordinate. So Limburg just got a weird, fucked up... Everyone in that fucking part of this... Everyone in the South is fucked. I mean, we knew this. Being Americans, we already knew this. Revolutionary Army Vice Captain of the North Army, Jiren, Karasu subordinate. So that's why Karasu, everyone who works with him, is kind of a badass. Dragon-san, Eva-san, Sabo-san's back. I fucking thought he was dead. A robot. He better be a fucking robot. RoboSABO bros, any of you still out there? Are we still RoboSABOing up in here? I hope so. I hope we get RoboSABO. We better get RoboSABO. If we don't, I fucking riot. I'm going to start a revolution against you, Oda, if you do this shit. Dragon-san, Eva-san, Sabo's back. So he made it home okay. Thank goodness. I don't know why her speech patterns are so weird all of a sudden. Or his, I don't know. I knew something... maybe it is RoboSABO. I knew something was up when you said... Because he was on the island when it literally got fucking Death Starred. So I think something might be weird about him. I knew something was up when you said you'd bet $1 million. I ain't coughing up a single berry. Nah, I'll wring it out of you. You think you can get away with it by eating them? Wait, what? I ain't coughing up a single berry. You think you can get away with it by eating? Wait, so he's eating money? Or is he actually eating berries? I'm very confused. Oh, you used those binoculars, didn't you? What binoculars? Welcome back, Sabo. Whiz clack, so she's got a cool fucking gizmo arm. Sabo, I was just about to shoot you. Oh, with her gizmo arm. That's cool. So now we're actually seeing, like, the actual army. And it's like, the Revolutionary Army has, like, a bunch of people and, like, cool, like, looking characters. Like, I mean, cool looking characters. They don't look as cool as, like, you know, the Blackbeard crew or the Shanks crew or whatever, but they look cool. It's just interesting that we're getting a cutaway to, like, literally every major faction in the story. That's pretty interesting. Glad you didn't. Everything okay, Ahiru? Were you worried? Maybe a little. Sabo, you say you safe. Me happy. Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate this guy. His speech pattern sucks. He looks like shit. What the fuck, Oda? It's a Lelouchian ship. Leloucia? You mean the country that vanished? I'll explain later. For now, please help these guys. Sabo-kun! You just went radio silent. How could you do that to us? My bad, Koala. I couldn't get my hands on an encrypted transponder snail. All my calls would have been monitored. I feel like something sus is going on with Sabo right now. He's way too chill, considering he literally just... Like, last time we saw him... when he made contact with Dragon, he was, like, literally, like, screaming at the top of his lungs, being like, I thought the world didn't have a fucking king of the world, but there actually is, and he was, like, trying to spill the beans before he got, like, exploded. Why is he this chill? This is weird. This is really weird. I'm sus. This is sus. God, this is so unfathomably based. He truly has the charisma of a king. Buggy. Yeah, Sour. I thought the one with the arm was Kiku, and he got Ivankov because Kamabaka. Maybe. Fat Yanji. Yep, pretty much. He's Poundy Pussy's race. I think he looks more like Baron Tamago, but fair enough. RoboSABO, bros? RoboSABO? I think it could be. Nalinium, are you familiar with RoboSABO? RoboSABO is a big meme on my channel. I think TCB tries to render Evo with a Russian-esque accent. I'm not TCB. I'm not going to try to do that. Oh, that's why the weird speech pattern. Okay. Well, what's the explanation for this fucking abomination cowman over here? Why does he have a fucking accent? What the fuck is that? Wherever he is. Oh, yeah, this fucker. Fuck that guy. That the timing of the events, I don't remember the chapter in which it happened, but it's possible that the timing of the events presented is intentionally non-simultaneous. For the island evisceration, that is. Oh, are you sure? I'm pretty sure we saw Sabo, like, see the light from the beam in his fucking eyes. Like, you could see it, like, reflecting on his face, like the shadow from, like, the literal laser about to strike down that island. I'm pretty sure we saw that. For the island evisceration, that is... Oh, Koala Kick. A Sabo future sight confirmed? Oh, yeah. Definitely future sight. Can't quite, see too much here, but yes, she's kicking. She's got a lot of legs. She's kicking quick. She knows fishman karate because she hung out with some fishmen for like a couple months, I guess, and now she knows their karate moves, I suppose. I do like her being angry and then going immediately to being like crying with joy or like just happy he's alive in this moment. It's just cute. This is a cute little encounter. Sabo is also very like Luffy-esque. He's kind of like Ace was a bit more like, had a bit more of a chip on his shoulder. Sabo's like a little bit more chill. I don't like Sabo. He's probably one of my least favorite characters in the story, but this is like an interesting appearance, and I'm still very sus of it. Because he's too chill for what we know he like literally witnessed. It's a Lelouchian ship, so that's a pretty big deal. Maybe he was on the ship floating away like when the beam struck, so that's also possible. Milkmaid Moda is alive. Yes, sir. Oh, you're right. They were simultaneous, weren't they? Yeah, they were. I don't know, bros. I feel a RoboSABO coming on. I thought I'd given up the dream. Just like Buggy. I gave up the dream of RoboSABO. But no, it's time to fucking claim it. When it's right in front of you, you have to fight for it. What did we all go out to sea for? RoboSABO, bros. Come on, let's do it, bros. Oda, give us RoboSABO. That's all we want. That's all we fucking want. Sabu, why are all you boys like that? Ooh-ah, Morley. Ooh-ah, Morley. Don't skip. Oh wait, did I skip some panels? I used the usual 3-beat code to signal I was all right. Didn't you hear? Okay, so now okay, so he's explaining to Koala what happened. I wasn't even on the Lucia when it happened. Oh, you made me so worried. Sorry. So wait. But that's like kind of a lie, isn't it? Okay, so we got Bello Betty. I remember you losers from Lucia. Oh, fuck off, Betty. I know her design is weird. Like, I kind of like her cigarette with like the smile lipstick, and like, I like the haircut is cool, and like I like her glasses, and I like how smug she is. Like, she's kind of cool, but I just wish her design was like a little less stupid. You know, like just the fact that she's got her tits flopping out with the tie, like it's kind of funny, but like I would not say drip. I would not say drip. It's a real shame what happened to your homes, but I heard you were hoping to join our cause. Yes, ma'am. They're just trying to survive, dude. First things first, get some rest. We'll straighten you out after that. Oh shit. So now we have the fucking round table of the revolutionaries. So like, it's crazy that we're literally seeing every like major faction in the setting kind of either clash with someone or like kind of prepare themselves for like the next stage, the final saga, the final arc, you know? It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. She knows Fishman Karate from Hack. Yes, true. Not Hackta, the character Hack. Yeah, who's based on our Lord and Savior Hackta. Bello Betty and Whip Bitch from Impel Down should have their designs swapped. I really like Whip Bitch from Impel Down, but I wouldn't be mad about that. I heard about Kuma-san. Sorry about that. We let everyone's work go to waste. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Why couldn't anyone hold down a fucking busted robot? Don't worry. I know you two are taking it the hardest. He might have been programmed to return to Mary Joyce as a contingency. I don't think so. I think he's on his way somewhere in particular. Because we literally saw him like try to fly through the Grand Line. Not the Grand Line, the Red Line. The Red Line. SSO, Sabo. Wait, SSO? Like single sign-on? No, it's... I assume that's the fucking... SSO, Sabo. You don't... Oh, SSO. So like, no, is that like SOS? Like him trying to... No, wait. SSO, Sabo. You don't want the captains hearing what you've got to say. Oh, so Sabo. This stutter is so bad for Ivankov. Like, what the fuck is TCB doing? So Sabo, you don't want the captains hearing what you got to say. Yeah, just hearing it might put your life at risk. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, that's how she talks, right? So Sabo, you don't want the captains. No, that's not. You don't want the captains hearing what you've got to say. Yeah, just hearing it might put your life at risk. What the hell? There was some major trouble at the Reverie. I'll tell you all about what really happened at the Holy Land of Mary Joyce. The truth comes to light. Are we actually going to get to see it? Are we actually... I think we're cutting away. I'm sorry, guys. I think we're cutting away. We're going to see it in a flashback. I would love to get some more information. I would love to know what happened at Mary Joyce. I would love to know what actually like went down at the, you know, fucking what's it called? The thing that, you know, the big thing, the big fucking thing. You know what I'm talking about? The thing. The Reverie. Like what actually went down at the Reverie, you know? But knowing Oda's storytelling style, he likes to tease us with stuff like this and then cut away and then reveal it in a flashback like years later. So I think we're not going to see any of this. I would love to. I don't think we're going to get it. And that's honestly, that's okay. It's what I've come to expect from Goda. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the chapter, guys. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm kind of upset that we got so derailed with politics piece, but there's a time and a place for it, I suppose. All right, so let's read some of your comments. It's Ivankov's accent. Yeah, but it's still bad. Like, just making her stutter is stupid. So, wait, hold on. Like, a snake. Extended S sound. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't like it. It's like, why? Ivankov is not a snake. It's stupid. That is not the Russian. That is not the Russian way. Okay. It's a long S. I don't care. So would have been a stutter. TCB should have left it closer to normal English. Absolutely. I agree. LOL, the accent is a bit jarring. It's fucking stupid. Especially because it's in all caps. So like, I read that and I was like, is this supposed to be SSG, like the fucking Seraphim or whatever? Like, is that what we're meant to take from this? Like, is like Ivankov listing a bunch of stuff? I don't know. Oda about to tease the Reverie for the 4th time without actually showing it. Yeah, pretty much. I'm so excited to find out the Reverie backstory. Yep, but he will cut away. Yeah, absolutely. What is this? The, like, 18th Mary Joyce cutaway? I am betting it's gonna be just like the Rocky Port incident, where it's just an absolute nothing, but it happened at the Rocky Port. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love hearing about things that we don't get to see and getting details about them later. Like, I actually just like that, unironically. I might be in the minority in feeling that way, but I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that style of storytelling of, like, kind of drip feeding information about particular events or situations or, like, character backstories or whatever it might be. I like it. I like it. But this is, he just keeps teasing it. He keeps teasing it. Now I just actually do really want to know what went down. So hopefully we'll find out. To be fair, Oda already ruined its potential by removing the possibility for Admiral Ricardo. That's so true, bro. Admiral Ricardo is the best, and we were robbed. The most unfortunate thing about the politics piece is how quickly it became unrelated to One Piece. It should have remained focused on ACAB. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of my bad for sort of getting off topic. But anyway, Anime Ace, the font has no capitalization. Everything is always in caps. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay. It does lend to a feel of a living world. Yeah. I'm glad you understand, Millennium. I really like it, too. I just don't like it when it's inconsequential stuff that is harped on. I mean, I think these things are pretty consequential. I mean, clearly the Reverie was consequential because the whole world, like, structure has changed since it happened. So, clearly pretty consequential. Like, we don't need to see a backstory to know that, like, shit went down. Because we see the effects of it in the narrative. So, you know, that's pretty consequential to me, man. There is a time and a place for atmospheric storytelling, and it's not the end of every chapter. Tell that to Goda, bro. Tell that to Hakta. Who knows, man. Sour says, Reverie feels far more important than shit like Rocky Port. It feels necessary to actually explain it. I agree. I don't think we need a Rocky Port backstory, but we do need some more information on what happened at Reverie. At very least, some explanations. You know, we need to know what went down with Eam and Shanks. We need to know, like, what happened between Sabo and the boys. Like, what else was discussed? What happened with Kuma? Like, some things need to be, we can infer, but other things I think would benefit from us having more information. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that this isn't just, like, Oda fucking giving us a cock tease before jumping back into Egghead next week. It's funny, because when this chapter started, I was kind of hoping we would get more Egghead, but this chapter was so goated. And, like, it ended off in such a way where I'm like, God damn it, like, you're teasing me with these tantalizing things that I want to know more about, Oda. Like, stop fucking teasing my cock. My cock is off the charts right now. I am betting we'll get the full Mary Joyce at the end of Egghead when Kuma does something. Buggy piece. Indeed. So, yeah, guys, this is good stuff. But yeah, we've been streaming for a hot minute now, like 2 hours. God fucking damn it. Sorry, it took so long for me to, like, even start reading or talking about the chapter. But ultimately, great chapter. Very interested to see what happens next, you know. One Piece has been on, like, a pretty interesting roller coaster. I do want to get back to Egghead, like, as soon as possible. Like, I am getting cutaway fatigue, but at least all the cutaways have been, like, fucking based and great. So, like, yes, there are, like, I kind of want Oda to space these cutaways out a bit more, maybe, but, like, I guess the whole point is, like, he's literally giving us previews of what all the major factions in the world are doing, and, like, letting us know what's going on with them, which is unusual for him to do, like, this frequently, but, like, it is interesting, and I'm having fun. I just really am very interested in Egghead and want to see what happens next, so hopefully we get that before too long, but I'm also very interested in this. So, excited for next chapter. I'm not sure if there's a chapter next week. It looks like there's no break, but I know Golden Week is pretty soon, so we'll see if there's one next week or not. If not, I'll be streaming something else, probably a couple games. I know I've been lacking on the streaming recently, guys. I've been working out a bunch. That's why I was late tonight. I was actually coming from kickboxing and Muay Thai. So yeah, I've been, like, fucking going ham, trying to meet my New Year's resolutions and get swole and fit for the summer, you know? Or just in general, just be better me. So, but yeah, so I just need to work on like kind of having enough, you know, motivation to stream after getting back from the gym, that type of thing. Millennium says Millennium says Golden Week. I think all Shonen Jump titles would be on break next week. Okay, that's what I thought. I actually thought it was this week that things would be on break. So I was pleasantly. I did not expect a chapter. I was pleasantly surprised. So good stuff. I guess I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, or if you want to hop on one of my streams next week, which I'm sure I will share. And if you are not in any of the servers I frequent, subscribe to Twitch, man, or follow me on YouTube. You know, something like this video is going to get uploaded to YouTube probably tomorrow morning. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, it's been fun. We'll do this again very soon. So thank you very much, and have a good evening.